It's another Tuesday on Tie Kicks. I really hope you guys are well. And I just wanted to say a couple of things about SneakerCon just gone by. So SneakerCon just happened on Saturday. I was really gutted to not make it. I've been watching loads of other YouTubers out there posting their videos about attending SneakerCon in London, and I am seriously envious of you guys. I so hoped to make it, but it just wasn't possible. But I am hearing some rumours of the next one being a 2-day event, so you will catch me there. Any of you guys who support the channel, I'm really sorry I couldn't make it and meet up with you guys, but I hope you had a great time. And next year is another year, so we'll see you at that event. Anyway, this week is a first for Tie Kicks, and I'm not gonna confess to anything other than being a total amateur when it comes to knowing anything about sneaker customs. It's one of those things that I've never ever owned a pair of custom sneakers. I've always kind of sort of felt like the execution has to be done totally on point to really be worth it. All the customization has to just be seriously subtle. One of the things that made me want to do this video particularly is that a couple of months ago I picked up these. Now these are the Oreo Zebra, whatever you want to call them, 3.0 Ultra Boost. Now this shoe was doing the rounds online for absolutely ages, and a couple of different versions of this shoe from probably sample shots came about, but when the final shoe dropped, this was it. And one of the things that really sort of took away from the shoe, one of the things I personally didn't like that a lot of people did, was this black heel cup. And I really don't like it that much. And for a long time, I've worn them, but I've never really loved them. And I've decided that they're sitting, not really doing a fat lot for me. So it's time to do a Tie Kicks amateur custom of these. How am I gonna do it? Well, I'm not mega confident in starting to paint my shoes. I don't think it's about time I start mucking around with that. So we're gonna go for the age-old wrap. We're gonna wrap the back heel cup, and I think we may even do the 3 stripes. We'll probably leave the actual cage itself, but just do the stripes as well. I may just do the outside stripes, maybe not the inner stripes. We'll see whether it looks good or not. But let's get into doing this custom sneaker. So I haven't got any idea how to do custom shoes, but I did do a lot of stuff with regards to sort of art and crafts and things like that when I was at school. I did art A-level, and I am a hairdresser, so I'm pretty creative all in all. So I sort of used my brain on what I was going to do for this. So some of the things that you're going to need a scalpel, or some people like to call them like a box cut or exacto knife, whatever you want to call it. You're going to need one of these. This is integral to cutting this. This is the finish that I'm going for, which is a marble effect adhesive plastic. It's got a bit of a shine to it, but I really like how subtle the marble effect on it is. Now this may fail, but we've got to give it a try, and we're going to see how this holds up. I don't expect it to be a forever custom. It's not like it's been painted, and it can be removed. Other things that you're going to need are 100% something straight, a ruler to be able to cut along lines. You're going to need maybe a Sharpie and possibly some Q-tips. You're going to need maybe for just sort of pushing in and sort of really getting out anything that are going to be sort of like air bubbles, or anything that's going to be in like gaps and things like that. And you're going to need a hairdryer to be able to mold this to it. So without further ado, I think it's time we got on with doing this and see if it's a fail or not. So the first thing I'm going to do actually is to put the shoes to one side. I don't have a cutting board, so I've used an old chopping board that we don't really use a lot anymore. And we're going to cut down this to size. One of the things I would turn around and say is we don't really need all of this. So I'm going to cut the tie. But what is really important here is knowing kind of what part of the pattern you really want from this sticker. And we're going to want to see some of the marble effect. We don't want to kind of end up having like part of the heel cut being sort of part of this white void here. We want to see some of this sort of showing. So realistically, a really good area by the looks of it is the area along this area here. Because there's a lot of that kind of marble effect in it, but there are some sort of big patches. It's not like a real dense area that's right in the middle. So I think we're going to go for this area here. So you're not going to need loads because it just needs to stretch from one corner here all the way to the other sort of side here on the outside. So realistically, you know, you can use the ruler as a rough kind of gauge. I'm not turning around saying I'm any professor when it comes to this whatsoever, but you know, realistically, you're going to need probably, I'd probably turn around and say the sort of full length of this ruler at the very least. And you can always cut it to size once you've got it. And height-wise, not very high at all either. So let's turn it over. Let's get cutting out a section of this marble effect sticker. Right, so we've got one piece of this sort of sticker ready to rock and roll, really. Now, this could go horribly wrong, so if you are a big fan of the shoe, then I'm really sorry if I damage or ruin it, but hopefully I won't. I'll be extremely delicate about it. And if you are a customizer and you're looking at me doing it going, this is cringe, again, I'm sorry. We're going to use a little bit of heat on this to sort of start to sort of mold it into the heel cup. One thing that I probably would have said is that you make sure you give the heel cup a really good clean before you do this, because if there's any dirt or debris on it, I can't imagine that this is going to stick very well. I actually cleaned these shoes before I actually started doing this. I cleaned these this morning just to make sure that everything was all clean on the heel cup. I'm using like a blunt tool really, which this is a knife, a blunt knife, just to really kind of sort of get it into the areas that have kind of like a real tight corner, trying to sort of eliminate anything that could possibly cause it to not mold very well to the shoe. You can see it's like starting to really form up against the heel cup quite nicely. There's a few creases in there, but that can be kind of ironed out with the heat. Probably shouldn't have taken all of the backing off the sticker. Like I said, this is all new territory to me, so you know, doing this first one, hopefully once I've got to grips with doing this first one, the second one will be a lot easier. The video can't go on forever and ever and ever, so once this one's come out well, the second one will be a serious time lapse, and hopefully you guys will get to see the finished result pretty quickly. Next thing to do is obviously to be seriously delicate with this knife. So I'm going to sort of start along this line through here. Be really delicate. It's when you get to this edge here is where you've got to be seriously careful of where you cut, knowing that underneath is just exposed prime net, so seriously careful. So it's sort of free. There's some real rough edges that have got to be sort of tucked under and tidied up, definitely around the outside of this shoe. But you know, for an initial attempt to try and get this to adhere to the plastic itself, I don't think it's that bad. Now I'll tell you a little secret. The secret to my desire to try and do a custom shoe is because of a guy called Dan Giles. Now Dan Giles does a YouTube channel called Your Average Sneakerhead. Go and check Dan Giles out. Some of his customs are incredibly cool. He is predominantly a custom YouTuber for shoes, but he's a very creative guy, and I just wanted to give him a shout out because without seeing any of his YouTube videos and without seeing any of the passionate kind of stuff he does, it wouldn't make me want to try and use some of my creativity to try and sort of revive a pair of shoes that I don't really wear. Next thing I'm going to be doing is the stripes on the cage. So pretty easy really. The stripes are probably the easiest bit probably that there's going to be on this. Well, so I believe. Width wise, we can have a look there, can't we really? Just over a centimetre. So these are the finished shoe. I really enjoyed having a little bit of fun playing around with the concept of trying to make a custom shoe. And to be totally honest, for something that all the materials that I picked up today came to less than about £8, £8.50, you know, probably about $10 if you're in the States. You know, it is a really, really quick and very kind of short-lived customization. But what do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Did I do well for my first custom, or is this totally shit? I really hope that you guys enjoy watching Thai Kicks, and if you do, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you want more information about when videos drop, hit the bell next to the subscribe button. Now I think it's only right to do a little bit of a show for you. So the original shoe at the start started with the black heel cup at the back of these Oreo 3.0 Ultra Boost, and they also had the sort of transparent cage stripes, and I decided I was going to give this a fresh lease of life and really make these stand out as a individual shoe. And so we've gone with a marble effect vinyl wrap version of the Oreos, and don't you think they've come out well? But they are not too bad, if I do say myself, considering that I obviously did them, and I hope I've inspired you guys to give it a try, and I'm sure there are things that I can add and improve to this design. Now let's get these on feet. So that was Thai Kicks for another week. Next week, we have got something really exciting to tell you about. It is the biggest Thai Kicks giveaway I have ever done. all ready for Christmas. So I want you guys to make sure you are hyped for it. It's going to be coming next Tuesday. It is going to be the biggest giveaway ever on Thai Kicks. I will catch you this time next week.